All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Nurse Surf and Turf Extravaganza, day 28. Okay, so let me just let you know what's going on. Um, I'm not necessarily going to every other day casting, but I will say over the weekend, it is very difficult because uh, I do have a life and a wife. And so we're doing things like shopping on the weekend. And we had to go to the mall Sunday. And of course, everybody has to go grocery shopping. And we filled up a small cart with $300 worth of groceries. But anyway, um, might go to every other day just in general. But if something really intense happens, then we can cast. And so I kind of have to cast right now because intense things are happening. So if we go over to the North American continent, we can see pretty much standard play is happening. I see power is expanding a little bit, which is nice to see. Um, Southern U.S. is still just sort of there, a fourth wheel, but still alive. It's more than a lot of people can say with some significant forces here. So I believe he's aligned himself pretty solidly with with this North American alliance. The big news over here is this group of five here, who I believe we realized was a group of six because Sweets and Ari teamed up with the last of the sausages over there to be their own team of three. So they're a legit team of three. So we do have a sort of Siamese twins coalition over here who are not to be discounted. Six of them working together, and I'll say five. Come on. Arabia is in the game, and does he have any troops? He does. He has a troop. But I think that's cool. I think it's really cool, like that Arabia is in the game. I love that. I really do. This mofo hung in there through all kinds of adversity. Let's face it. One partner that left right away, another partner that sort of left afterwards. Neither partner really did anything to benefit the coalition as they exited the game. So I get a hats off to Mr. Sausage over there. But this team of six, it has power, especially since the center north here has been sort of, I'll say, players in the game, quote unquote, from the very beginning. Making moves and doing things over the map from the very beginning. An argument could be made that Papa Smitty was instrumental in taking down the sort of the behemoth Southern Coalition down here. I will say, I think people overestimated the Southern Coalition and teamed up on them when actually they were doing good, but they, you have to identify the behemoth on the map, I think, if you want to keep balance. But anyway, we do have a new balance that's been stricken here. It's very, very interesting. Frankly, I did not expect it. So what I'm seeing here is it looks to me like we have Sweden, the northern powers here, have now teamed up with themselves. No, I'm just kidding. Sweden here, let's go ahead and click on Sweden proper and see what's up here. Sweden is now at war with 7 countries. Let's just see what Sweden is at war with, this northern coalition here. They're at war with all of the South and all of the sort of Eastern Central powers. So now the North is at war with these 5. Okay, well, what's Hemlin doing over here? This sort of behemoth power on this side. They are at war with the North. Oh no! So this is what I was seeing earlier. Let's go over to Caucasus and see they are also at war with the North. And so we have a scenario here where the 5 and the southeastern 3 are all at war with the North. Holy crap. Let's see what Finland is going to be at war with a lot of people because Finland is centrally located. Yeah, 8. Oh, geez. Yeah, so Caucasus, the Central East coalition over there, as well as Romania in the Central East, but also Morocco and West Algeria, Spain, Italy, and France. Oh, wow! What a fascinating turn of events here. So who now? So here's what I'm wondering. Like, so the six came in um, with the East here. So the center coalitions just banded together. In fact, we can safely say the entire south of the map here has banded together now. The east, the southeast here, and the southwest here, part of Europe and Africa, have banded together now, and that's solid. You can take that to the bank against the north, this monolithic north of here, and it does look like they've made some inroads, particularly here in Britain. So you can see Italy has taken over big parts of Britain that used to belong to Sweden. We have huge navies in the water. We have this huge navy from, why are you not clicking there? Click over, buddy. There we go. We have a battleship and 13 cruisers, but that is countered in the water by Caucasus, who has 2 battleships and 6 cruisers. Let's bounce over here to Smitty, who, look, he's got 7 boats. I promise you that they're battleship heavy. Boom. 3 battleships and 4 cruisers. He loves those goddamn battleships. And then he has another battleship up here, I believe. Yeah. Yeah. So in the water, it's fairly balanced here. We also see we do have some air coming down here, which is nice to see that last group that gets to flex their muscles kind of coming in, those specialists with the air and making a difference in the game. But what a war we have here. So the question is, where is the New World in this war? We now have essentially all of the South teaming up against all of the North. There's a lot of power in the South. We have this dominant sort of Southeastern coalition over here, and they are moving. Hold on, let me say I'm just make sure there's so much going on here. Make sure I'm not just being a doof here. Yeah, Caucasus is not at war. Yeah. Just double check because it said so many wrong things in the past. It's embarrassing. Yeah, Caucasus is strictly at war with the North. So what side does the New World come in on? And I think the evidence is right here. The fact that Italy has taken away all of Southern Ireland. So Italy, part of the Big Six down here, Big Five plus sausage down here, has attacked and taken away North American holdings. So here's how we can define this last grand standoff is all of the New World, and I'm including Lefterios here, I assume, and the North. So we have 2 triple coalitions, 3 over here, 3 in the North, and then we can say 7 because an extra one down here, against 3 in the North, in the Southeast here, and 3 in the sort of West Central, and 2 down here. And so we have a polarized battle going on, a battle royale that includes battleships, cruisers, bombers, fighters, lots of infantry, lots of power on the board right now. And it's all sort of happening here in Central Europe. Now, I don't see a lot of changes here. I noticed, again, we had some encroachment here. Finland was taking over France's territory. That probably drove this Central 3 into an alliance with the Eastern 3 over here. When you're losing land is when you tend to be more friendly with those enemies of your enemies, so to speak. So I don't know where we stand. Let's just look at the newspapers and see if we can find any sort of so we have Team 6 in a fairly large lead here. Okay, so not a big surprise. That's who I called earlier as being the dominant player on the map, this force of 3. And it does look like, and I will say this, there are some smart players in these coalitions over here. So we're talking Smitty, we're talking Oli, we're talking Harkold, we're talking Grandma Karen, formerly General Penis, Sweet Salt over here. These people are not just farting around. Um, sometimes you team up against the dominant player on the map, and sometimes you join with them. And so it looks like that's what's happening here. Is these two teams of three have decided to gather up with this team of three and figure, hey, they'll get first. Probably these guys will get second, and sweet, salty, Oli salty, and sausage over here will get third. So it's a good metric moving forward. It's a wise sort of plan moving forward. That's about it, guys. I don't think I have much more to say. Russia is continuing to capture these territories up here. It's a slow process. We know that Russia is, famous for its long roads and big territories. So it just takes time to move forces across Russia. But continuing to take territories up there, which is wise. You need those resources. Play that long game. I mean, here we are, so late in the game, day 28, right? 4 weeks in, and we're still struggling. These battles are tensely equal here. They're just so close. And, I'm still looking in the chats, not quite as much anymore, as, we've gone from 10 teams now down to an effective sort of 5 teams. I'm looking less in those chats, but those chats are still active. And a lot of the side chats, I've told you, like, I can't keep track of all the side chats where coalitions are making new chats because they're inviting other coalitions to join them. And so I'm seeing less of that because there's just so much of it going on. But that's actually a really good sign in terms of the game, sort of the activity, the attention, the focus is still intense here 4 weeks into the game. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that. This trio has been so powerful throughout the game. When I saw that this trio here in the center threw in with them, along with their vassal states down here, I thought, oh boy, that's not great for the North. But then when I saw that the New World had thrown in with the North, I thought, okay, now we've got a contest here. Greenland has been a dominant player this whole time. By the way, Greenland has a huge navy, continues to churn out the boats, and that's going to be essential here in this battleground region of the British Isles. That navy is going to be big. Now, we all know that Papa Smitty loves his goddamn navy. So he's going to be coming around as well, but he's far away. He's having to ship those ships on shipping ships all the way to the front. So, he's remote, but he is a lover of naval situations. So it's a great game, guys. It's a great game. And then, of course, Duck Force over here has all kinds of harbors going on, just harbors galore around the Black Sea, on down in here as well. And so he's churning out the boats. So that's a scary thing when you've got Raya Force and Papa Smitty churning out boats together for a common purpose. Oh boy. So a great game, man. I'm telling you, like, it's still a great game. It's been sort of breaking down into smaller and smaller groups. And by smaller, I mean just fewer players involved, right? Like, we went from 30. What are we down to now? Let's count how many people are still in the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the New World, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we're about half of the original. I'm not counting myself. We're about half of the original of what we started with, which is actually 4 weeks in pretty impressive in terms of participation levels. But oh my goodness. All right. So, but also now we're kind of down to a polar situation, which is kind of cool because now we can see where the lines are drawn. We have A versus B. We have X versus Y. We essentially have the North versus the South. So now we can watch and see what happens because I see some early gains in Britain from the Central Western Coalition, but we also saw some losses in Western Europe, against the North. So we'll see. It's really anyone's game at this point. The way these coalitions have stacked is fascinating to me. And we sort of seem to kind of find that organic balance within the game as we move forward, and I love it. All right, that's it, guys. enough for today. Thanks for checking in. This is our detailed cast for day 28. Thanks for checking in. I'll see y'all next time. Adios, amigos.